AI is everywhere. You know that in terms of even young people at school, they're being taught AI in certain ways, and the parents are not even up to scratch with what the kids are doing on AI.
Yeah. You're teaching me about ChatGPT.
Yeah, I do.
Every day sending me, oh my god, why don't you do this on ChatGPT? I'm talking to it. Everyone, my name is Marcus and welcome to Planet Therapy. I think of a show. Just over broke. Hi everybody, welcome back to Planet Therapy. Remember, this is a space where we have casual and fun conversations on work-life balance, self-love, and empowerment. And today, we got a lovely guest today. This is Pamela Ajogbeje, aka my mother.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Marcus, for having me on your podcast. I'm privileged. I'm a bit nervous because he's got the mic, but I'm sure we'll do well. There'll be no childhood stories, I'm sure.
You're funny. But, yeah, so Pamela, so weird calling you Pamela because you're actually my mum.
I know. But, sounds weird hearing it.
I don't like it.
Call me mum.
No, I can't call you mum. But my mum, she is an esteemed author. She is a business growth specialist. She's also worked in sales. She's been working in sales and all that stuff since before I was even born. So that's a good 25 years. So
yeah, a little bit more, yeah.
So, you know what? Enough of me talking. Let's kick right into it. Tell me a little bit about, I guess your journey. How did you start in sales? How do we go into the counselling? She was a counsellor as well, guys. And yeah, just your journey. Walk us through.
Bit of an interesting journey, yeah. So, as Marcus said, over 25 years sales experience, marketing, advertising, web design, etc. I am a qualified psychotherapist, and I think that the fact that I'm innate within me, I am a people person. So I quite enjoy speaking to people and their well-being is quite important to me. And so that, right through life has sort of pushed me to fields where I'm helping people, understanding their thought processes is important to me. And I'm so interested in watching behavior and, attitudes, how that play out, both within the community. In my ministry, I am a reverend, and also within the business industry as well. So it all plays a part.
No, fair enough. I guess going right to the start, like I said, just right at the beginning, before I was even born.
Okay, yeah.
How did you just get into your career?
I guess like a lot of people in life, you go through stuff and you learn to overcome it.
Yeah.
So, I've been through my things, my stuff, and I found ways in which just sort of mindfulness, self-love, looking after yourself really helped me. So way back in the day, I think you probably were about 2... running around. Oh, we said no stories.
You're funny.
Okay, so you're probably about 2, and I did a program where I spoke to a lot of young women, single parents, and I did, for women's empowerment.
Okay.
Actually, was the beginning, and just helping them to love themselves, feed back into themselves, find themselves, and invest in what they wanted to do. Not just mum, not just at home, but find their strengths and invest in it.
Okay.
That led to the birth of Conqueror AI. That is my business. It's changed over the years. So Conqueror AI was really about personal development, building oneself, mindfulness. And as a psychotherapist, I did a lot of therapy for people that wanted to build their self-esteem.
Okay.
So that really helped me to grow. And then you want to know the journey, right?
No, the journey. So
okay.
You had Conqueror, you did what you was doing.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? Let's say, from what I know, it was sales and stuff like that at the start.
Okay. So working with lots of industries with Conqueror, in the background, I had to work, right? So I was very good at working in sales because as a therapist, teaching the psychology of communication, it helped me to communicate with people on all different levels, CEOs and managers, the corporate side of things. And also when you're talking to potential clients, being a counselor actually helps you to understand their niches, their needs, what's being said, what's not being said. So I was able to have real good insight into the needs of my clients. So it made me quite successful as a salesperson, as you know.
Oh, we love that. I just remember, I feel like growing, like literally teens, I just literally was always on holiday.
Yeah.
Why was, it was because you're like sales targets and stuff like that, innit?
That's right, absolutely. It was great for me because, I will say I'm on a podcast. So, I actually was in, my organizations, I did the best. I was always sort of like the top person in sales. One organization for 5 years in a row out of 7, I was a top salesperson for the team. I was a senior account manager. And that, as you rightly said, it took me to lots of places, Dubai, Australia, worked in Australia, Prague, Portugal, Germany.
All about the place, isn't it?
All about the place, all that good stuff, Greece. And I think that was more because of, again, knowing how to relate to people, knowing how to have that work-life balance, let people feel relaxed and comfortable in their zones. And, they found it really easy to speak to me. So it was good for business relationships.
Okay. I guess changing gears a little bit. Obviously, you've been in industry for quite a while.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, how have you managed, let's say, navigating the changes from what it was? So, like, let's say working in those sort of offices and those sorts of environments and those sorts of people. Has there been much change, and have you just navigated through it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of change. I mean, one thing, as an entrepreneur, yourself, you have to be in line with what's happening. You have to stay informed in, changes, societal changes. And so where I had that innate sort of ability to work with people in their personal development, and I had the experience of over 25 years in business, I decided to go it alone, start my own business and put some of that expertise back and offer it out to people. So now I actually help SMEs to grow their business, to brand themselves, to promote their businesses, set up startup strategies and things like that. And that's been really successful. I'm also a mentor. So I have worked on many mentoring programs, including the Mayor's mentoring program. Remember, you were actually...
I was the face of it, wasn't I?
My son was the face of the Mayor's mentoring program, and it was excellent. And he looked so cute, Oh, yeah, we're not going there.
You're funny. How many years ago was that?
So that was about 2012.
I was about 11.
Yeah.
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 That's crazy.
And he was the face of the Mayor's mentoring program, guys. Little cute smile and all of that, But so again, that was putting together my love for people, love for young people, wanting them to be the best they can.
Yeah.
So that sort of like led into Conqueror AI, where I could stretch it out, not only help the community and people, but people that are growing their businesses.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want to know where the AI came into.
Yeah, because it started off as Conqueror. So as you know, you was having, I think from what I remember, you was having a lot of, let's say, workshops, you was doing a lot of programs and trying to just help grow young people.
Yeah.
So how did you get from that to Conqueror AI?
Okay, there's the story. So again, it's about understanding the transition in societies, a societal move. We know that AI is a revolution. So we know that within the next 2 years or so, if you're not implementing AI, you're going to have problems staying ahead of the curve. The government recognizes it. We hear it on the news every day. So I thought to myself, what is this AI all about? And why are our young people, for a start, what are they going to do? Because what they're being taught in schools now, is it accommodating AI? Is it on the curriculum? So I started to delve deep and learn a lot about AI through a partnership with another company as well. And I just wanted to make sure that through my books and through articles, we were understanding what AI is. And so the book I wrote, for example, Navigating the AI Revolution.
This book right here. My mum's an author.
So this book talks a lot about how you would implement AI into your SME.
Yeah.
Because I spoke to a lot of people, I helped a lot of small companies transition and start using AI tools because really the government's helping them, they want them to do it. If companies don't have AI implemented and they're not understanding it, it's going to be a problem. So I was just showing them small tools to use and then leverage up from there.
Okay.
So that's the business side. And then I was saying, hold on a minute, but what about our young people? How does this relate to people of faith? Because it's a debatable topic. You know, it covers absolutely everything we do. It's all about AI. Leads me on to the double-edged sword. So this one is fresh off the press.
2 books, not just one. That's 2. 2 books. That's my mum, an author.
Thank
Who would have
you.
thought, mate?
This is good.
I'm joking.
Yeah, so seriously speaking, the double-edged sword, AI, what's it all about? It's
Yeah.
very, very good, and it can be very, very bad. So I actually talk about the good, the bad, and the downright dangerous, in AI.
Yeah.
Mental health as well, because as you know, I've had to look at it from my perspective as a reverend, as a psychologist, and as a business person. So that's why it's a very interesting read for everyone. And the impact it's having on yourself, the next generation, children, grandchildren, and the older generation. I talk about the fact that if AI is everywhere, you know that in terms of even young people at school, they're being taught AI in certain ways, and the parents are not even up to scratch with what the kids are doing on AI.
No. You're teaching me about Chat GPT.
Yeah, I do.
Every day sending me, oh my God, why don't you do this on Chat GPT? Don't talk into it.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. There's more than the obvious, getting it to write you an email or something. There's so much more planning, strategizing your business, helping you to set your business plan with what you're doing. So there's so many things you can do on there. But then there's also the safeguarding side. So policies, I write about the policies, what safeguarding is there, fairness, discrimination, because nowadays a lot of recruiters use AI to, go through resumes.
Yeah.
And depending on how the algorithms are set in that prompt, it could fare men or it could fare women. So there has to be regulations and, things need to be understood by the employers. So there's a lot of employee training now. They're training their staff to understand how to use and implement AI. So it's big. It is a revolution. We do need to know. Go on.
No, keep going.
No, I feel like you need to ask me something else. I might be on one topic a bit too long.
No, you're fine. You're good. I was going to say, it was just a bit more about when you said about AI, especially within jobs. Because it's funny, I went to a networking event, I think it was in March or February, the Black Tech Sales Network.
Oh, right.
And within that, I met someone and he said that their company are literally, they don't even have like SDRs, sales development representatives, because they literally have AI do it for them.
Yeah.
So meaning they're doing the emails, they're doing the calls, and you wouldn't even be able to tell it's AI.
Yeah.
So it's just so interesting how like the rise of it is happening so quickly.
Yeah.
Where it's even, I don't want to say it's taking people's jobs, but it's like, how do you factor that into, let's say, your books or just what you talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I have written about that. I mean, AI is not necessarily there to... It will replace jobs, let's keep it real. But it's also there to help you work smarter, not harder.
Okay.
So it won't just take away jobs, it will offer jobs. So there's so many jobs out there now where they need AI prompters, prompting engineers, people to train the AI, people to, teach, do what I'm doing, help people to transition into AI, courses on AI. There's so many more jobs coming out. And because it's a revolution, we need to jump on it, and we need to jump on it now. We really do, because one of the things I speak about in my book is I want AI on the curriculum.
Okay.
because if children are in schools now and they're not being taught how to use AI, how to the benefits of AI, when they leave school, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to get a job because most of the jobs will need AI. You'll need to know about AI. You'll be operating AI systems, and more of the jobs as we know it, HR and as you said, reception and all of these jobs, they won't exist anymore. So there'll be new jobs where if you don't actually understand AI and how to use it, you could miss the opportunity of of employment.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we don't want our, the next generation to be held back in any way. So I'm an advocate. I mean, I need everybody to just jump on and reach their full potential. And, I talk about in my book as well from a faith perspective, as I said earlier, just to say it's quite debatable. Should we be using these modern technologies? Real questions and concerns. From a faith perspective, it has its place. The Bible says use witty inventions and use it with discernment. So it's there for us. So AI is opening up doors for education, ministries, industries, and if we understand it and we understand the balance, then it's very good.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. Slightly changing gears a little bit. Like a little gear change. So kind of moving away from, let's say, AI and stuff like that.
Sure.
I guess more on like a personal basis. Obviously, you might not know it, but my mum is a mother of 4. She also has grandkids.
But I'm only 21.
I'm only 21, yeah. She's older than me at this point. But and obviously there's a lot of things I learned from you growing up, especially obviously I'm in sales. I feel like I've watched you kind of like start that journey and I was like, oh, that looks fun.
Oh, that's good.
Whatever. Also, even I remember one of my first jobs I always wanted to be was a counsellor because I actually just genuinely enjoy talking to people and whatever. So it's been quite inspiring, and I guess just watching you kind of juggle that and obviously your ministry, you do a lot. So I guess how do you manage that? Like, it's a funny question, isn't it?
Yeah, how do I manage? You're not the first person to ask. People always say to me, how do you do it? I mean, how do you do it? I think it's just prayer, Google, more prayer, meditation. I try to get away when I can just to have some downtime. It's very important to have downtime, where you're not thinking about writing, you're not thinking about articles, work, nothing. And you're just, the best thing to do is go away and have no agenda.
Okay.
Yeah? So that way you kind of like, you have time for yourself to recuperate, and rethink, re-strategize, and save your energy. So you kind of like rejuvenate yourself. That's so important. I spend time of an evening winding down, doing nothing.
Cheeky stender. Cheeky stender.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just a handful of things that I will sit down and watch of an evening, and that's my way of winding down.
Yeah.
And yes, EastEnders is one of them.
That's what we bond over.
We bond over EastEnders. We really do bond over EastEnders. But yeah, honestly, it's about looking after your well-being. I'm actually a mental health first aider. And one of the things I really encourage people to do is look after their own mental health. Just like you'd look after your own health, your mental health is just as important. Learn to say no so that you have more energy for the yeses. And sometimes I've had to do that with my children. I've had to learn to say no. And they're like, well, why no? But because I have to take care of my own mental health so that when there's a yes, I've got the energy for it.
No, that makes sense. And it kind of transitions into my next question.
Okay.
What is your thoughts on work-life balance?
Work-life balance. So we have to work.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that no job is worth killing yourself over. So find that balance, and if you find that you're at work and you're fearing getting up to go into work and it's draining you, it can have real impact on your mental health. You do have to have a balance. And I would just say if you're in jobs where you're finding there's no balance and it's making you sick, then rethink your career path.
You know what? That actually sounds so real and honest.
It's real and honest. Rethink it, because you know what? I've been in jobs, as I said, I've been working over 25 years in sales. It can be hard and fast. Fortunately, I really enjoyed it, and I knew how to balance myself because I'm a psychotherapist and a mental health first aider. But there's so many people that they kind of, they don't work to live, they live to work.
Yeah.
And, when you think about it, your working life and your private life, you should still have a private life. You should still have
100%.
a social life. It's so important, because you won't enjoy getting up, going into work in the morning if all you're thinking about, your fear is, oh, I'm going to sleep because I've got to get up in a minute. What kind of life is that? Work-life balance. I've always maintained, when I come home, I'm home. When I work from home and I switch that computer off, it's off. It's really off, and I don't think about work. Think about family. Think about things you can do at home just to relax or do nothing. Go for walks. Go on holiday when you can. Doesn't have to be out of the country in a big elaborate holiday. You can go up to Kent. Am I advertising Kent? You can go anywhere.
What's in Kent?
No, because I found a really nice spa that I've been to about 4 times. A spa retreat.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah. So yeah, I won't name it because they're not paying me anything to do
Yeah,
that.
no sponsorships now.
No sponsorships. But yeah, it's just about, honestly, Marcus, you've seen, you know how I am, how I roll. I have to juggle lots of things. I've got lots of hats: ministry, children, grandchildren, home, husband, and writing, and being a business growth specialist and an author. It's a lot, but I enjoy it because I make sure I find that balance where it's not consuming me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. I feel like it's good when I feel like you've had some sort of like mental health training, because I feel like, me personally, I feel like I wish that school or like college, university, anything, I feel like taught us a bit more about like the actual real life applications of life.
Absolutely.
And how to kind of figure it out, because I feel like a lot of it I just had to navigate and be like, oh, okay, well, that's not working. On to the next.
Yeah.
Or dealing with like failure, or dealing with like there's changes in the job market. Like now, obviously, I'm interviewing, looking for jobs and stuff like that. I'm always trying new things and navigating that. So, but I feel like what I've learned, even when you was obviously going through uni and stuff like that, is so important to look after the mental.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I've had him on meltdowns and stuff like that.
Listen, I'll scream.
I
don't know what I'm doing.
If you've seen him on his EastEnder like reviews, you'll know what he's like. He can get very excited.
You are funny.
But what I notice about you as well is that you do have a balance, and you've calmed me down. He's very good at sitting you down and talking about like let's put this in segments. Let's think about this. Let's take this strategically, and it's very calming, and it's a good quality to have.
Oh,
It's a very good quality to have. I don't know where you got it from.
You don't know.
But,
I don't know either.
but really, have a balance in life. Work isn't everything. We live, we work, and then we die, somebody once said. So find your...
It's so morbid, but it's so...
Honestly.
No, but it's so
but
true,
it's so
which
true.
is so...
We live... So find your thing. Find your thing in life that you enjoy doing. Because when I work, for me, because I enjoy what I'm doing, it doesn't feel like work.
No, fair enough. Do you enjoy writing? Because...
I love it.
I feel like... I remember... years as you saying you want to write a book, you have an idea for a book, so actually just seeing it and it's there. Was this the opportunity you felt like you wanted to do?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Because I've always I mean, there's so many books inside of me, and this is the thing, good topic, your work and mental health and the balance, because the jobs I've been in, I had no time to sort of like do the things that I really wanted to do. It was only like a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there. And when I made the difficult decision to work for myself and start my own business, obviously you pick your working time, And if I hadn't have taken that decision to just say, right, okay, I'm not going to jump back into a 9 to 5. I'm going to build my own thing and integrate all of my experiences, and my knowledge into building something for myself, so I can have more time to relax, more time to write books. It would never have happened, so, and you get time to think, when you're not having to rush to a 9 to 5. I'm not criticizing anybody that does a 9 to 5. For some people, they really like that structure and it works really well for them. I'm just saying that for me personally, it gave me time to sit down and think about all of the other stuff that was burning to come out,
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Has there been, let's say, any challenges so far that's like, okay, ooh, didn't expect this?
Yeah, there's challenges. There's always challenges. And I think it's about having that faith in yourself, believe in yourself. I guess the biggest challenge was transitioning from a 9 to 5, guaranteed wage at the end of the month, that comfort that we all want.
Want and need. Yeah.
Want and need. Let's keep it real. We want and we need it. I think for me, it was that challenge of like saying, okay, do you know what?
You're like, going to put that holiday in a back burner.
Maybe not have 3 holidays a year, just have one,
Lucky to have one, I'm still with them.
It's not easy, but you get what I mean. You have to sacrifice, and you have to, you have to be prepared to give some stuff up.
Yeah.
And then, but funny enough, it's like with what I'm doing now, it's like a constant holiday because I've been to summits, I've been to events. I'm actually called to Dublin this month to talk about my books. So I've been speaking about my books on different platforms. So the need to get away and relax is, it's there, but you're busy doing something that you enjoy. So the stress levels come down. I guess that's how it's happening. I would advise anybody to find something that they really, really enjoy doing, and just, there's obvious challenges, but if it's something you enjoy doing, just push through, it'll work. It'll definitely work.
Sure. And what's next? What goals do you have? What's happening?
What's next? So, I'm enjoying the writing. I've got a few more books inside of me crying to come out. And I just want to help as many people as I can to reach their full potential. With my business mentoring, I want to help people get their own businesses off the ground, so that they've got more time to work in their own time frames, and they've got more time to, do what they really want to do. They've got this desire, but just take the walk of faith, and so I want to be there for people, teach them what I know, pass on some information, whether it's on AI or whether it's on your personal branding, or just how to, advertise your business, because all of those past experiences, I now want to just combine them into a nice package to help people.
No, that's good. Is there any more books in the pipeline, or is it you're just focused on these for now?
For these for now, because I've got quite a few talking events coming up.
Okay.
And I've got books that are sort of in the pipeline, in drafts, few paragraphs here and a few paragraphs there, that are ministry based.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's good.
yeah.
And final question, kept you here for a while, what advice would you share for someone that either doesn't know what they want to do, they're figuring things out, or they're, let's say, stressed, don't know what's going on, they may be in a job where they feel like it's just a lot's happening, quite overwhelmed. So what advice would you give as someone that is a seasoned veteran in the fields and also a psychotherapist, as someone,
I would say, plan, sit down, make a list of things that you're really good at, number 1. Then make a list of things that you really want to do, number 2. Number 3, then start looking at ideas. Again, you can use ChatGPT. I'm going to say it because you can use
that's been my best friend sometimes.
For brainstorming.
Yeah.
And then once you've got your lists, I would say, you're working, but it's something about energizing yourself to see what you can really do. So once you've got your list, tell ChatGPT, or whatever the software is you use, and just say, look, this is me. You've got it all written down. This is who I am. This is what I enjoy. this is what I'd like to do. What do you think I should be doing? Because I think I should be doing this. Have a real conversation, and it will start to map something out for you. You know, that's suited to you.
Yeah.
And you will be so surprised at how effective that can be, and it will just get your brain ticking over. Take your time out, research it, take a little weekend off of work or a week off of work when you're on holiday, sit down, write down some little goals, some plans. That's exactly what I did. I went away for a week and I started to put pen to paper and look at what I want to do, you know, why I want to do it, and then how can I make it possible.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that together, really try and strategize how you're going to do that in between your day job, and invest in yourself in terms of taking time to relax, get your brain focused. You know, you're better than where you are right now. Tell yourself that I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I know I can and I will. You know, put little notes of affirmation up around the place where you're positively affirming to yourself, I can do this. I can do this. And then you'll realize that your day job, your 9 to 5, that you're just comfortable there.
Yeah.
It's just a job. What does job stand for?
Just over broke.
You know,
It's actually a trap.
It's a trap.
But you know what?
Yeah.
It's a good trap sometimes.
Honestly. So particularly we've got so many resources now that will help us to be ourselves, our authentic selves, and, you know, invest in yourself. My biggest thing, invest in yourself. Get out of that job that's driving you to the ground and build something yourself. But don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Do it strategically and make sure that you're equipped to do what you want to do and you're going to enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
That was very informative. I feel like I learned a lot, especially about AI, and I feel like it's a real journey. I think life is a good journey, and I feel like watching you develop and grow and actually, you know, achieve what you wanted to achieve, it's been good. It's been empowering. So definitely enjoy that. Where can we find you?
So you can find me. My TikTok is TikTok. Yeah, I'm on TikTok anyway. It's Conqueror_AI. You can find me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is Pamela Ajogbeje. The name's spelled AJOGBEJE.
Don't worry, it'll be linked. Below.
It'll be in the links. So you get it on the link, and then obviously Facebook and the books. You'll find them on Amazon.
Ooh.
And so that's this one. The Double-Edged Sword, AI's Impact on the Next Generation. A real must. It says on the back, in every great leap forward, humanity faces a question. Are we heading towards destination? And the Double-Edged Sword invites readers to see beyond the hype of AI and into the heart of the battle of our future.
You know what? You did that so well. I really thought you were going to have to get your glasses.
I think I might have misread a word, but but it's okay. You got the drift. And I thought I was going to have to get my glasses as well. Yeah, so if you're out there and you just want to know, how is it going to impact me? Because it is going to impact all of us. It's impacting us already. It's everywhere. It's not going to happen. It's happening.
Good. Well, thanks, Pamela, a.k.a. Mum. I'm not calling you that again after this podcast.
You better not. Thanks,
Whatever.
guys.
But thank you for coming. Learned a lot. I think it's very inspirational. Guys, you already know where to find us. Planet Therapy across all socials. And yeah, if you have any thoughts, any comments, any questions, feel free to reach out to Pamela or myself, you know, Marcus Johnson. And yeah, I hope you guys listened well, jump in the conversation, have a great rest of your day, and stay blessed.